So my goal is to transform lives. But when you read these stories, yes, of course, there's always going to be a physical, something that's changed.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's, I gained muscle. Or sometimes it's, I'm no longer on this medication. I'm now, mentally, I just feel so differently, or I'm just happier. Someone comes in the front desk and we ask them, what brought you in? Obviously, most of the time it's, I want to get fit. I want to get in shape, right? Well, what does that mean to you? Yeah, right. Because everybody, that means something different. Starting is the hardest part. Walking through the doors is the hardest part. And then after that, we got you. You're not going to go to Target and be like, hi, my name's Holly. You want to be my friend, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like Burn has given women specifically a place to find like-minded women. I mean, yesterday I was running a building lap and I was running right in front of them. And the one girl said to her friend, doesn't matter how fast you go, just keep moving. And I mean, I got back to my desk and I had to wipe my tear. I was emotional. Systems happen when you're listening to your people, and your people will tell you what they need. So if you're identifying the problems of what your people are going through, the gaps are easily seen, and then you try to find a solution to that. I know that my staff, they're better than me now, which is the ultimate goal.
So hey everyone, and welcome back to the Spotlight on Good People, where we shine a light on the humans who are making the world more compassionate, connected, and kind. And today I'm sitting with a woman who proves that when you plant seeds of service in your hometown, they grow into forests of transformation. Holly Strickland is a Naples native who has turned her passion for fitness into a movement that has touched over 700 lives and counting. For nearly 10 years, she's been building more than just stronger bodies. She's been building an unbreakable community of women who lift each other up in every sense of the word. And that's for real. I know those women. Your journey from UCF athlete to personal trainer to franchise owner shows us what's possible when someone combines heart, hustle, and unwavering belief in putting people first. You've created a space where over 500 women come together with zero drama and infinite support. That's not just good business, that's beautiful humanity. Your response during Hurricane Ian, opening your doors as a disaster relief center, shows us who you really are when the world needs you most. Thank you for being living proof that success isn't just about what you build, it's about how many lives you elevate in the process.
What an intro.
Well, that's
gosh.
you. That's
Great.
you. So I appreciate you being here. I've really been looking forward to having this conversation with you because I am a direct benefactor of the people whose lives you impact, and that the result of that is it makes my life better. So you made their lives better, and in turn they've made mine.
You.
So I appreciate what you do.
It's surreal. I don't know. It's surreal to hear that, honestly, because it's always been my dream just to make this world a better place. But it's really cool to see it all come, full circle.
Yeah. So. Well, it's so clear. It's like really your passion. It's like really you found your home. You do what you love. It's obvious to me that you're doing what you love because it's infectious and it gets on the members. And we have a lot of them that are living proof and how it impacts people. So,
well, thank you.
You're a native.
I am.
Which is rare.
Yep.
So your family moved here when you were 9 months.
9 months old from New Jersey. Yep. And then we've been here ever since. I went to Orlando for school, for college, and then...
And a Barron girl, I got to get that in right.
Yep,
right.
Let's go. My husband went to Gulf Coast, so it's always a little fun rival that we still have. So, yeah.
And your family came here at that, so you're a Jersey girl, kind of, for 9 months anyway,
we'll say,
but mostly Naples girl. Yeah. And your path... golf. So you had a golf scholarship to play golf in high school. Where'd that come from? Like, how's that? That wasn't...
I mean, we lived on Palm River Golf Course. So growing up, that's where my mom and dad still live. Yeah. And I mean, I remember
Same house you grew up in?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
5 years old. Well, awesome. They were in Willoughby and then,
moved over.
So the 5, but I remember just going out and hitting, chipping and putting with my dad. And then he got us in, my sister and I, got us in like the little golf tournaments there. And then that just kind of continued all the way through high school. And then, I got recruited by UCF.
So what was that like during that time? Were you just solely golf? Did you do any other sports? Or what
I was a gymnast. So gymnastics, and then that kind of led to cheerleading. Just, obviously kind of I knew at one point my dad's like, you're going to have to choose between gymnastics and golf. And at the end of the day, golf is what's going to get you a scholarship. So we made that decision together, and I knew that gymnastics was so expensive, and so was golf too, but it was different at the time just because Naples supports, they have a really great support system for junior golf. And I just kind of grew up through, specifically playing more in the summertime, but then, I think it's fall and fall, right?
That's when they have golf.
I think it's fall during, in high school. So yeah, those were my two things.
So you could get on decent courses before season, I guess. Or whatever,
I guess. That was all done through the high school. Yeah. We were up at Hunters Creek in Bonita. That's where we played.
That's like your home course.
It was a great home course. Yeah. Yeah. And they took, really great care of us. So yeah, it was fun.
Any other sports
those were my two things. Yeah.
Now, is gymnastics helped in the fitness world? Because I know my wife was a gymnast too. And we met at CrossFit, and she can do, she's such an athlete. I don't know if that's a gymnast thing or what, but it seems like she can do a lot with that. Is that a good foundation for that?
I would say yes. With your balance and technique, and, there's a very specific technique when it comes to gymnastics. So, and golf, right? So I would say, that they probably definitely helped each other. Yeah. Yeah.
She's a golfer. She was a golfer too. She didn't.
That's so
she
cool.
could have had a golf scholarship, but those were her too.
I love it. That's interesting.
Yeah, she's still got her, I don't know what you call them, onesies or whatever the things were. Growing up through the years, she got boxes of them.
Oh,
the
that's
things
awesome.
That she were in the thing. So that's, I like the, because she kicks my ass at CrossFit. That's the bottom line. Is what it is. Like, not that I was ever an athlete, but she's got a beast mentality, which I think you have some of that too. So that's what got you where you are.
A little competitive.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. What was it, or who had the biggest influence on you growing up? Your mother, your father? Was there somebody in your life that was like who you're...
I would say my mom and dad both had very different and positive and big impacts on me in different ways. Yeah. My mom is and always has been the glue that's held us together. She's just that all-star. She's when you think of mom and you think of like a good mom, she's just it. She's just awesome. She always had all the pieces of the puzzle together for us. And I think she's a huge part of what my sister and I are who we are today. But I would say my dad, he was always pushing us to do more and better. And, he always wanted what was best for us. And I don't think at that time, when you're a parent, now I'm a parent, I realized like he was just trying to make us better. Yeah. And at the time it was like, why is he like this? Why does he always, we have to go practice. And, but I'm so thankful that he always pushed us to have a higher standard and to want to do better. Both of us would not be where we are today without the two of them, because they are just the best.
Now, how are you and your sister different?
So my sister is 18 months older than me, and she's so ultimate. I don't even have words for her. She's just great, but we look a lot alike. So a lot of people think we're twins. How are we different? So as I was everyone always thought I was older because I would be the one that would always go and talk to everybody, and she would just kind of stay quiet and just she's like, whatever, I'll just let Holly do her thing. But she's now in like the hotel and hospitality industry. And so she's gotten to the point that she talks to like everybody now too. But how we're different. I would say our core values are very similar, just in what we believe in life, and like what, our drive and our success, I think, are very similar. She's maybe more creative than I don't know. Like I would say that's a question I've never been asked, but I would say, that we have very different strengths. She's my best friend. I have like the most, I only have amazing things to say about her, but awesome. I don't know how we're exactly different, but we are very different.
How would your mother describe you?
Oh, I have no idea. I think my mom would say that I'm warm. I would think that she would say I'm outgoing, that I could, talk to a wall, just like my dad, that I'm organized. I would definitely say that she would say that. My sister is not as organized as I am in that. So that's our main difference, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's the thing.
I'm the clean one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Loving, I'd say my mom would say. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Never been asked that question.
So because I think some of your strengths as being an organized or meticulous about things, it seems that you are, has really benefited the business or your business acumen or your ability to be successful in business.
Yeah. I think so. I feel like from an operation mindset. So in the franchise, they have us fill out these different like personality quizzes, right? So my husband's technically a franchise partner as well. So he's an owner as well with me, but he's a firefighter. So he's not technically day to day involved in operations. So he's a person on paper when we filled out this whole, quiz, that he would be the CEO. He's the one who would run the business. Like he'd have the vision for the business. He can see long-term vision, all the things. I'm the operator. So I'm the person that a CEO typically hires. So I'm the one who keeps the list. The to-do list is like, organizing all of our stuff, our quarterly meetings, our annual meetings, annual planning, all the things. That's like definitely in my wheelhouse. But when we have big decisions, I'm going to him saying, okay, hey, how does this look if we're looking, in the distance? Because I can see 3 to 6 months very clearly. I can get a plan for it. I can execute. But 6, 12, 5 years from now, I can't imagine what's going to happen then, And he's like, well, this is our goal. And I'm like, okay, I don't have that vision. It's just interesting how we are so different, but it definitely helps to have the balance between the two of us.
Well, that's sort of because you were on the ground floor of Burn Boot Camp. I mean, you knew the founders before.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that, so that they can hear that too.
Yeah,
because I think that's kind of a cool story.
Devin and I, he was at a gym in Naples, and I was at the sister gym. So we were at the two gyms together.
Devin is the current CEO.
He's current visionary, but his wife is the CEO. So they've
Burn,
of the whole franchise. Okay. So there's 350 plus locations open. There's 500 plus signed on.
Yeah.
It's just become huge. We were number 9 in the company open, first one in the state of Florida. So definitely some cool, but definitely at the ground is for sure. So
you were working out, you were training at.
I was training at Naples Family Fitness. It was Lifestyle at the time.
Okay.
And then he was at a sister gym. Okay. And then there would always be like a monthly call. And at the end of that monthly call, it would, say who was in the top and who was, kind of going back and forth. And Devin and I were typically number 1 at each gym, going back and forth of who was going to be number 1 in Naples.
How do they measure that? What number 1?
It was revenue.
Oh, okay. So who you were...
If you had personal training, clients, how many I had, or, how much revenue. I had a boot camp at the time.
Okay.
He had a boot camp at the time. So it was like who was bringing in the most amount of revenue.
I got it. Okay.
So we knew each other's names. We did have a mutual friend, a mutual friend group that we kind of got introduced through as well. And then, we always joke back and forth that he would come to the other sister gym and be like, what is this girl doing? And I'd have my little computer up. I'd have a table set out, sign up for my boot camp, all this stuff. So long story short, we became friendly rivals, and we're always cheering each other on for sure. But I mean, we did sit and talk about could we, leave these sister gyms and do this together? So that was a conversation. In the meantime, his wife got a promotion with Kellogg's and moved up to North Carolina. So
the cereal Kellogg's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she got, big time promotion. So he was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going with her. And so they moved up there, and he was like, well, I'm going to start something in a parking lot and see what happens. And that's where Burn Boot Camp was, started. So from there, I remember walking on Golden Gate Boulevard one day, and he's like, called me, and I'm like, what's Devin need, And he was like, I'm going to franchise. I'm going to open, I'm going to open these. I'm going to do this. You need to do it with me. And I was like, okay, it was hard to leave where I was at. I was comfortable. It's hard to make that jump to go on your own. It's like, can I do this?
Yeah.
That is a very scary, taking on a lease and knowing all these terms and all the parts of the business that I honestly didn't feel I was qualified for. I was, 25 at the time. I was just got married. It just didn't feel like that was in the cards to me. I mean, where do you get this money from? Where do you get a loan? And, all the pieces of the puzzle. So fast forward, a location did end up opening here in Naples, and I did end up going in and partnering with that couple that was there. And then, I don't know if you want to talk about this part, but we kind of moving past,
why did you do a partnership?
So when the couple Devin had told them that I was here in Naples and that like I would, I wanted to open a burn here.
Yeah.
But it probably wasn't the right timing for me. So when I went in with them, I said, listen, I will come in as the head trainer, but my negotiating, I'm going to bring all my clients with me. But my negotiating power was I want a percentage of business or to do the second one with you.
Yeah.
So, long story short, the second one hadn't happened yet. And it just kind of ended up just to go into a partnership opportunity. And that partnership did go bad. We didn't have a history together. We didn't have really a relationship prior to that.
Yeah, it's like getting married without having an engagement period. Right?
Yeah, like there was no time for us to get to know each other. Yeah. But and it really truly wasn't me. I would hope it's not me. But like their relationship didn't last, and it was kind of like, okay, how do we all break this apart? So in the middle of that, there was a time that they ended up suing me, trying to get the part of my shares of the business back.
Yeah.
And essentially saying I wasn't doing my job. And that's like what the whole lawsuit was around. Wow. And I was served when I was 5 months pregnant with Maverick. And he's now almost 8. And then I was removed from the gym. So I was not allowed to go in there. It was brutal. It was a brutal time in my life.
Removed from your passion, which is what you loved, what you were doing.
And I felt like I was doing my job. I felt like I was doing everything right. I felt like I was doing, they were actually, the couple were not even here at the time. They were on the other coast opening another location. So it was a very difficult time just to feel like you're, everything you worked for is like taken away from you. Yeah. And I had a 100-mile non-compete. I couldn't work.
100-mile non-compete.
100 mile.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. Yeah. And it's all I knew, right? Like I went to school for that. I have my bachelor's degree in sports and fitness. Like I didn't have another trade that I could,
Yeah.
But, I remember my husband looking at me and being like, Holly, you did nothing wrong. Like, we're going to fight for what's right. And he's like, and if we lose everything, we lose everything. We'll figure it out together. It was, that whole part of our relationship and our marriage, it made us rock solid.
Yeah.
It truly did, because if we could get through that, we can get through anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so from there, I got the gym back when my son was 1 years old, and
on his birthday.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. Which is wild. Which is also I had my son on my mom's birthday, which is just such a cool, yeah. And that was in 2018. Yeah. So been sole owner since then. So it's been a journey getting there.
Well, I'm glad it came up only because adversity anyone who's an entrepreneur, which is a term now, but anybody who's, following their passion or their dream and having a business, every day there's adversity. Like every single day, there's always something. The highest of highs one day to the lowest of lows the next day. Like in a 24-hour cycle, you're on top of the world. And
it's almost like social media, right? People see the highlights of your life, but they don't always see the parts that the hard days.
Yeah.
There's so many hard days. And sometimes when I hear, like even being here with you today, it just reminds me of why I do what I do, and that those hard days are worth it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that people don't see that. They don't see the conversations behind the scene that just break your heart, even if it's with an employee or someone you love. They don't see that. They don't see those sleepless nights that you're tossing and turning because of whatever, ABC, whatever's going on. There's always something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and you making that jump from, you had a secure position, you had a good client base, you were doing what you loved, and then you had to make this decision this leap into, signing on to tell this guy I'm going to give him $10,000 a month for the next 10 years, which I don't have, and I have to create.
Yeah. How does this happen?
Right.
Yeah. It's scary. Yeah. It's so scary.
And then where we live, not only, do we have pandemics, but we have hurricanes, which affect the flow of operations. Yeah. And we've had more of them in the last 10 years than we've had in our whole lives, I think, anyway. So
I know, it's been wild.
It adds a whole other dimension to this.
Absolutely.
To the thing. So,
yeah.
So there's some grit. And that's why I also love to have this opportunity to talk to people who take those risks, who are willing to put everything on the line, which is what you and your husband did. We're just gonna go all in, whatever it takes, and fight for what you're passionate about, which I think is special.
Yeah, it was definitely not easy. I will say that. I'm not a risk taker. I like to. This is what's secure. We know that this works. We can do this. Yeah. Why are we doing that? That seems so scary. Yeah. But I'm so thankful that I did. I'm so thankful that I did. We fought through it, and because I remember telling Justin, my husband, like, babe, well, I'll take my talent somewhere else. If this isn't what's meant to be, and I'm not supposed to be doing this, like, I can go find something else. Like, no one can take away my talent. If I have a talent for this and I have a true, this is my passion, no one can take that away from me. Yeah. And he's like, right. He goes, but you can't just take what's being taken away from you is more than that. It's you have to do what's right, and you have to fight for what's right. Yeah. It's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in my life, for sure.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of grit and determination to get through all that. But I love that I'm grateful that you did that, because I've been blessed, the people in my life and the way you've impacted them, it has had a significant, it's why I've really looked forward to having this conversation with you, because there clearly is something special about you and what you've created, this community of people who get something that I don't even think is in the promises of what you deliver to people. I don't even think it's I don't even think it's in right. I don't even think they knew they could get this when they signed up there, because, people hear fitness and working out as one thing, but the benefits of that are so far reaching. And, you say of 700 members plus, the impact is so much more than just those 700. We were talking earlier. It's like their families, their children, their parents, their coworkers, their colleagues. It has such a lasting impact on so many. The ripple effect is extraordinary.
It's amazing. It's funny because I was talking this recently to somebody about how, like, someone comes in the front desk and we ask them, what brought you in? What are you here for? And obviously most of the time it's, I want to get fit. I want to get in shape. Right. Well, what does that mean to you? Yeah. Right. Because everybody, that means something different. So everyone comes in for typically something physical or a feeling. I just want to feel better. Yeah. But then when you read these transformation stories, like that we have a transformation Tuesday that, we try to have as many, I have an annual goal to have X amount a year. I think my goal is 18 in a year. So I want to 18 transformation stories. So I want to have just an annual goal that I put up. So basically, we have at the end of a camp, a picture goes on the wall, and then you get spotlighted on our social media, but it's like, your before and after, and it has your story. And it's just that you hit a goal, right? And a lot of our members, that's their goal. So my goal is to transform lives. But when you read these stories, yes, of course, there's always going to be a physical, something that's changed. A lot of times there are, but sometimes it's, I gained muscle, or sometimes it's, I'm no longer on this medication. I'm now, mentally, I just feel so differently, or I'm just happier. I mean, you can see a mental transition in a phone call, like you and I were talking about, or even just in a picture of someone just looks happier. Yeah. It's just so cool to see that side by side, that it's not always a before and after of, Biggest Loser style, right? Yeah. It's a transformation of a mental transformation, and how someone now feels confident and they weren't before. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was talking about Alexi, my daughter, and just her, I can feel it in a message that she sends me. Like when she'll send me a picture, sometimes she'll send me a picture of her bicep and she'll be like, I got muscle. I love it. But the peace that she has with herself is so, as a father, I just love to see her level of contentment with who she is, and it's given her this new level of confidence that I never saw in her.
It's so cool.
And Mackenzie, who's her, I call her kind of a life coach together. Mackenzie's been a great inspiration for her. And Mackenzie, I hope you've had that baby by now. We're all waiting. Who's in labor at the minute, or maybe not. So but the camaraderie that gets created there is really special. I was telling you about, I was at a restaurant and I saw this big group of girls come in, happy, just having a good time, pre-drinks. So it wasn't like they were already a little lit on drinks. It was just the beginning of their, and then my daughter came in to meet with them. It was a party of 8 or 10. And It was a burn group that was doing a little outing together. Yeah. And every one of the girls, they all had different backgrounds. They all came from different places, and they were just having this great time together. But the camaraderie of that group was really special, and just watching it happen and seeing the group like that.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, as you get older, it's harder to find friends in terms of like someone who has the same, it cannot be a background, right? Like in terms of your career, but just like the same kind of beliefs. And, it's hard to go, you're not going to go to Target and be like, hi, my name's Holly. You want to be my friend, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like Burn has given women specifically a place to find like-minded women in all different, walks of their life. And I mean, there's so many days that I'm in awe. I just sit at the front desk and I'll just, I'll see a full camp go on because I still work out of the gym. Yeah. And it's just like, how did this happen? How are we here? It's so surreal. I mean, yesterday I was running a building lap and I was running right in front of them. So they probably didn't see that that I could hear them, or they didn't know that maybe I was there. And the one girl said to her friend, doesn't matter how fast you go, just keep moving. And I mean, I got back to my desk and I had to like wipe my tear. I was emotional because I wrote it down on a sticky note and now it's on a sticky note. And I told her that. I was like, I had to write down what you said because it really touched me that like that's how other women are encouraging. That is what we should do as women.
Yeah.
Why are we breaking each other down?
Yeah.
Like there's enough of that in this world. Like we need to build each other up. Like it's so hard to see when you're like, when you do see it and you're like, you're better than that.
Yeah.
Like, we're up against enough, like let's make it easier for each other,
right?
Let's just make it work. Yeah. So
you do celebrate victories a lot there. I noticed that. And I don't know if it's organic or what, but I know you have Transformation Tuesday, you call it too.
Yeah.
But I do see a lot of acknowledgement around achievements. It seems like there's just a lot of natural enthusiasm to lift each other up. That's kind of built into the structure of it in some way.
I think too, like a lot of the women who were at Burn, either they wanted to be an athlete or maybe they were an athlete. And if you think about it, we always had goals we were working towards. We always had, a tournament or, a game or whatnot. If you were in sports or even if you were in band, you had something that you were looking forward to.
Yeah.
And I think that like these accomplishments, like we do like, 50 camps. So within a year, if you hit 50 camps, we're going to, we send you a little email. 100 camps, we're going to shout you out in camp. 250 camps, we end up throwing them a party. So it's all these little accomplishments that it's just, at the end of the day, it's all about consistency, right? Just keeping people showing up because that's what we want for them, is just to stay consistent and acknowledge that they're doing that. Well,
there's a level of discipline there that I think is unique. And I've been talking to some of the members, Gina, who's one of the ones that I know, like she said that there's a precision to the start time. The end time, what happens at the end, the conversation. There's a rigor, I guess, is what it is. But that's good for people.
Yeah,
it's nice to see.
So we call it Blue Carpet Experience internally. So it's basically the standard that the headquarters, team sets for each location. They do have secret shoppers that will come and you will get, a secret shopped on your blue carpet. And it's kind of like the Chick-fil-A of Burn Boot Camp. Yeah. And it's important that every location is the same every day. But of course, each location is going to have their little touch and their little spice and like their, I want to start on time and off, because if not, I don't want to disrespect someone's time, right? Yeah. So if we end late, now I no longer respect your time because you're going to be late to your next appointment. So, but I think like the routine is so good for any of us. I mean, we just got back in school and I'm pumped just because I want my routine back, 7:30 the lights go off, or the TV goes off. So, but yeah, I think it's good for us to have that. But it also, like to your point, people know what to expect, but it also like just holds that standard to, continue to lift everybody up.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I've watched Mackenzie and Alexi race out the door going, we got to go. In the middle of a conversation, they just leave it. They know they got to be there.
We cannot be late.
That's right. I love that. But what I think is interesting because, as a business owner, you have also, you're in operations now and you're not coaching, right? So what was that transition like for you, and how did you do that? Because I think that's hard for a lot of people in business.
So I don't remember what the exact. It was something that the franchise did at one of our summits or our annual trainings, but it was a 4-quadrant worksheet. right? And it was like it, like basically you like it, you love it, you got to do it. You like it, you're okay at it, maybe you don't have to do it. You like it, you hate it, or you don't like it, but you have to do it. So anyways, it was like this 4 quadrant that basically broke it all up for me. And when I wrote it down that one year at like our annual planning, because our leadership team meets once a year to go over the whole next year and try to plan out that year and like look at goals. And
this is locally, or this is okay.
Locally. And so I have my team, my 2 other leaders, they do this as well. So it's part of their pre-work going into that meeting. And I was like, guys, I gotta tell you, like, I don't want to train anymore. And they're like, okay. And I was like, if you look at all my jobs, like all the job description, you look at everything that like I have to do, like I'm no longer working on the business because I'm in the business.
Yeah.
And there's so much of me that misses it. Like I miss being on that floor because I'm naturally a trainer, but I know that my staff, they're better than me now, which is the ultimate goal, right? I mean, it's just, I want everyone to be better than me.
Yeah.
Because that we only can rise each other then. But it was a transition for me, and still it's hard because I'm the only, oh crap, no one can train. I'm the trainer. And then I'm in the corner of the paper bag going, oh God, can I do this? Will I be okay? But yeah, I mean, it always works out. Like I can still do it, but it's just no longer my, it's not my choice. I really do love the operations side of it, and stepping back into that to make sure, okay, all the checklist, is everything that we're setting, is it actually working? Like sending, everything from sending the quarterly survey to the staff and saying, tell me what I can do better, because I'm here to make your job better. And I think that has just been, it's rewarding. It's hard. It's very hard, but it's very rewarding to make sure that everything is working right for them.
Now, is that something you initiated on your own, or does that come from corporate too?
Which part?
The survey of the staff.
No, that's something we do. We send out like a love language survey when they get onboarded. Because
what is that?
Love language.
Oh, okay. Tell me about that. Yeah.
So we send like a, tell me about you, like, what's your favorite color? If you were going to get Starbucks or Dunkin', what are you going to, so that way, if I'm going to get a staff member, I need to I just want to love on them. They're going through something or something like that. I now have a list of things that I could create, like a little basket, or get them a gift that would be according to them.
The love language tells you what they're...
Well, the love language, that's an actual quiz. They go online to fill out.
Okay.
And then they would tell us which one they are. But the other whole survey just gives us the information about them. What if I was going to order shirts for everybody, like I know their shirt size, it's all of that. So it's just part of their onboarding document.
Okay.
But the love language, I think it helps know how someone's appreciated and how they're seen. And, some people, it is a gift, and that's something I love to do. That's like I love giving gifts. I love making someone feel special. But if that's not something that's going to register to you, you're like, she just spent money. I don't really care about that. Right. All I wanted her to do is take me to sit and just talk to me and listen to me. Right. So everybody's different.
Yeah.
And I think that has helped with the staff just to understand how they just work in general. Yeah. But yeah, those are all things that myself and then my operations manager, who I was telling you a little bit about earlier, she's also just a boss babe. Like she's elevated our business so much since she started with us. And
she started as a member too, right?
She started as a member. Yep. And then she went to Child Watch, because we have a Child Watch facility. So she worked in there as one of the Child Watch workers, and then went to Child Watch manager, and then came to our front desk. And then now she's full on operations manager. Yeah.
How many on your team?
20.
20. Wow.
There's 20 girls. Yep. All female.
Yeah. And
female.
And members are all female.
And members are all females. Yep.
Yeah. Why has your gym been recognized as one of the top performers in the chain?
Why or how? I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I think female only has something to do with it. I definitely think that's set us apart. It just has created a niche that's needed. I think that's part of it. Every day I show up, and I don't want a member to ever feel like they're a number. That to me is like the worst feeling in the world. I don't want them to ever be like, I try to get there every camp. every week to see everybody. That doesn't always happen. I mean, I have a family and a life, my husband, he's 24 on, 48 off. So I'm always constantly with this mom guilt back and forth.
Say what your husband does.
He's a firefighter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. He's a firefighter.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I have his schedule. So every third day I'm a single parent, and then I'm running, Maverick around and trying to figure that out. But yeah, I mean, it's been a really cool ride having those, having the recognition. But at the end of the day, I think it all comes down to the staff. I mean, you have to have the right people, and they're awesome. Like, I think that's what it comes down to, is that's why we're successful, is because of the team.
So somebody who's very detail oriented and organized, what's delegation like for you though? Has that always been easy for you?
No. I'm a control freak for sure. Like I had the mentality for a long time that it's just easier for me to do it.
Right.
It takes less time. I'm not going to pay someone to do it. It's easier for me to do it.
Yeah.
And we, if it was a book so leadership team reads a book, and we have a meeting every Monday. And one of the books, or we usually do one a quarter, and one of the leadership books we read talked about like delegate and elevate, like how like I can never fully elevate unless I am delegating. But I think it took my team getting to know me as well to know, hey, you're overwhelmed right now. What does this week look like? What can I take off your plate for you? And those conversations happen every Monday. So we are aware of what that week looks like to be able to say, okay, Natalie, Sam, those are my leaders. Okay, you guys, you're training a lot this week. You have ABC, and it could be external too. Like, your kids have this, and I know you have practice at this time, whatever. I don't have a busy week. Can I help you? And learning to accept that help, and for them learning to say, it's okay. You're not failing by taking something, because that's what I recognized from them. They felt if they were taking something from like me or vice versa, that they were, it was a failure. And I'm like, no, like, this is how we work together. Like, teamwork has to be this way, that we have to learn how to like take tasks off each other when we're busy or whatnot. So,
yeah. Well, how do you think you've been able to empower your team to emulate you, because you not teaching? I remember the thing I do remember when the breakup happened, the drama.
Yeah.
Was that you were the thing. You were what the people wanted. Like, there was this tremendous force behind who you were. I remember hearing that from my sister and a lot of people that knew it was so about cool. you. And so you were where the people wanted to go and be with who the people wanted to be with. So you have this way. So how have you empowered people to be your way? Like, you've done a really effective job at that, obviously, because the culture embodies you, even when you're not there in the afternoon camp. It's a part of you.
Culture takes time, and I think it takes consistency. Like, that's the only thing I can say about culture in terms of, I don't know the other answer. I just think it's like it was always like hiring the right people, like, taking time to hire the right people. And if they're not the right people, don't hire. You got to listen to your gut. And I've hired the wrong people before. Of course I have. I'm still a new entrepreneur. It's not like I've been at this for 30 years, 20 years. It's still new to me. Yeah. But learning from those mistakes and learning, okay, like, how can we identify that gap earlier?
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of just the gym, it comes down to the members too, because they're part of the culture now, which has just been great. Like, they're supportive, and the 6:30 camp, and I'm sure your daughter's involved in this. Like, they literally help break down the gym and set the gym up for the next morning. It's not even part of something that the trainers do not ask them. It's literally like 2 claps on 2, 1, 2, and then they all start cleaning and organizing and helping us. It's crazy. And I don't know how that part, like, I'm like, I wasn't there when I was like, what are you guys all doing? This is amazing. Like, because I trained a lot of 6:30s in that, wasn't happening 5 years ago. So it's just cool how it's just evolved even past what I imagined. So just cool.
Does corporate look at you, try to emulate you? Do they use you as a resource for the other franchises?
So I've always put myself in that seat because I love it. I love mentoring and helping if I can. So I was on, it's called the Franchise Advisory Council. So that's basically, it was 10 owners from all over the country. And we sat in a room with all the VPs, the CEOs, Devin and Morgan. And they basically asked us what's wrong with our business and how can we make it better. And those 4 years were so ultimate. It was just a really cool experience it was during the pandemic. So helping during that transition time where gyms are closing, and how do we keep us alive? That was literally our goal to not close, close our doors,
Yeah.
I know you can probably relate to that as well. It just was scary.
Yeah.
So, but that was a really cool time in the career that I've had with Burn. Since then, you have to naturally roll people off because you need to have new voices. That's important. And then I went to the marketing advisory councils. That's just more like the marketing, the planning of promotions and, what we're doing for new people and how we're recognizing people. And then currently I'm on the activewear committee. So I enjoy staying in the know, but I jump on a lot of calls with new franchise partners, just helping them through their issues. But I also think no matter every phone call I get on, I learn something, and I think sometimes we always have to remember, we have to be, you can be the teacher, but you got to be the listener too. And listen for the opportunities of that's a great idea. We could do that. I just think that there's a lot of opportunity in questions and meeting them as well. So, yeah.
Do you feel you have are there ever any restrictions with being a part of a franchise? You want to be able to do something that you aren't able to do because of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't go and just print anything on a t-shirt. Has to be approved. The logo has to be approved. The clothing has to, we have to go through a certain protocol. There's definitely things like that are difficult, but I understand the why. I understand that if we don't do that from a brand standard, someone can go in and a print person can make, burn longer than it's supposed to be. And now it looks stretched out and weird. And you're like, okay, well, branding, that makes sense. We need to it needs to be consistent to be a national brand, right?
Yeah.
But of course there's always going to be those little things that, even if you understand the why, you're like, but yeah, for the most part, if I'm complaining about a t-shirt, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah. You've also been able to incorporate, and I don't know if this is part of the success measures, but you have maybe, what would you call it? Maybe a swag conversation after each event, or there's an opportunity for people. There's a discussion that happens at the end of each camp. Is this correct?
Yeah, camp.
About what...
within the trainers, you mean? The staff?
With the...
members?
With the members.
Okay.
Yeah, that it add-ons, upsells, things like that, or there's... I've heard this before, and I don't know if this is exact. I know my daughter's obsessed with everything. She has cups and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So how does that work? Because you're good at it.
I'm not sure if you're referring to the feedback loops. Does that sound right? Or you're saying it's more...
just that there's a structured... there's a conversation that's had after each one, about opportunities for people, or add-ons, or whatever they're called.
So, every workout's 45 minutes long. At the end of it, we do 2 claps on 2. So we end the same way every time, you were saying. And then the leadership team goes throughout our meeting on Monday. We basically say, here's what the announcements need to be for this week.
Okay.
So announcements could be, it could be promoting a new product. It could be just educating somebody on something, or,
it brings value to people. I know that's what it is. It's a value conversation. Yeah.
But it's all about so we're all saying the same thing, so making sure that the trainers are, just kind of, it's consistency, right? Because if you come at 5:30 in the a.m. and you hear something different at 5:30 p.m., it's like, which one was it? What's the actual? Yeah. So it's arranged, or we get it all scheduled out ahead of time.
What other things can people buy when they're there? Because it's not just the membership. So
we have everything from collagen to creatine to protein to pre-workout to Replenish, which is my favorite product. It's like a liquid IV, but doesn't have all the sugar. So your hydration. The retail is one of our members' favorite things because it's always, coming in new, and you have a holiday line and a Halloween line and all the different things. So yeah, a lot of products, and it wasn't always like that. I remember when it was like a few shirts and protein like that.
Yeah.
Every year they've evolved and gotten new things. We now have something, this was built during COVID, called Burn on Demand. So you can download the app, and for, I think it's $30 a month as a non-member, someone can work out from their house, and there's like over 1,000 workouts in there. There's everything from stretching to technique to prenatal to, it's just phenomenal that they, a mindset podcast. There's just all kinds of stuff in that app that now you can do burn from home. So like if I don't go in the gym, that's what I typically do. Just, you don't even have to have equipment, which is really nice. It's kind of like burn on the go,
Burn on the go, yeah. How did you get through COVID? How did you get through that period of where we had to be closed and people were afraid to be around each other and all that? How'd you do that?
Yeah. Man, I think we wung it. I don't think that we had a plan. It was just day by day trying to figure out what we were allowed to do, that was the most tricky part. I don't know. If you would agree, but like the figuring out what the regulations were.
Right.
You're like,
right.
Where do I go?
What do I do?
Where do I look? What am I
standards.
allowed to do?
Right.
Yeah. And just was.
And then you get chastised if you do something that somebody doesn't like, but you didn't
you're
know.
Like, I'm
you're
trying my best.
Right.
Yeah. We put like Velcro on the floor. So, and we basically created box in each, on the whole floor. And then we did have Zoom up. So that's kind of like we were talking about burn on demand. So if you didn't want to come in the gym, you could keep your membership live and you can work out with us, live online. And then, we had it initially was like, we have 18 spots. And then we're like, okay, well, we can make the spots, as we were allowed to get closer and all the things changed, then we kept just making the spots smaller until we were able to bring the Velcro off. It just is, it was such a whirlwind of a time. It's like parts of me don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Because we just were trying to figure it out. Every day was different. Keeping us safe and keeping the stat. It just was crazy.
Yeah, because there was no roadmap.
No.
It's like there really is no book or roadmap for being an entrepreneur.
No, there's not.
What's in your lease? How do you get that in your lease?
What is that? What does that mean?
How did you handle did you have people who were calling saying, listen, I gotta end my membership. I'm not using it now. Like the loss of revenue. Like, what do I do? How did you handle that emotionally?
That was hard. So I think the one thing that I always am going to have to work on, it's just because it's who I am, is it's very personal when someone quits for me, because it's like we invested, we know your kids' names. We know what you do for a living, and like we've worked with you on a goal. Personal, and it's a very personal, it just feels personal when someone, quits. I think during COVID, it wasn't as personal, because it was just like, listen, I got to keep food on the table. I don't have a job, but it was scary from a business perspective. It was very scary to be like, okay, are we going to be able to do this?
Yeah.
And can I continue to pay my staff, because I wanted to, I knew that I needed to keep them there. So I was like, okay, here's what I can do. Here's the hours that, you guys all have to come in at this time. And it wasn't everybody, but kind of created different positions for them to be able to say, okay, you can come in and clean at this time. So we are not all here together. And
yeah. You had to make stuff up.
So tricky. Yeah. But it definitely formed a lot of the future stuff that we do today, which is interesting.
Right. Yeah. It did have everything evolve in a new way. Yeah.
Yeah. A new way. Yeah. But it was scary.
You said, I just lost my thought. I had this thought. With
COVID.
You were.
Lease.
I know. That's always in my head now.
The
You brought
lease.
that up, right? Oh, gosh. Where'd it go? It was, I know what it was. Yeah, because you said, directly when somebody's done there, they say, stop charging my card. I'm done. Like, immediately. And I was thinking about in our business, like, we don't always, like, it may not know right away, right? Because it's not like, they have to tell you I'm done. Right. And that is impactful. It'd be great if we knew right away, because sometimes we don't. They just stop coming, and then we don't know for 8 to 12 weeks, and we don't know.
That's so hard. Yeah,
but
I never thought about that.
Both are,
hard in their
neither
own
is
way.
better.
Yeah.
But I still they're telling you like I'm done, and you
right.
just, like that's
something
to deal with.
We had we have everyone's in some type of a contract. So at least we knew we have, you have X amount of people on a 12-month or X amount, but that also didn't stop people from just saying like, I can't do it. Like there's not money in the account. If you pull it out, like my family can't eat. Like it was heartbreaking to hear that,
Wow.
And you're like, you never want to put anybody in that situation. But also if everybody were to quit, my family can't eat either. It's like it's a, double edged. So yeah.
It's just like your landlord didn't say, oh,
sorry,
take a break. Right.
Yeah. Or like, you don't have to pay electric this month. Cool.
Right. Nobody said that.
No worries. Right. We'll keep the AC on for you.
Right. And oh, by the way, the cam charges, we made a mistake last year. We need an extra $5,000, like our village landlord says.
And you need a new AC.
Go buy another one. Yeah. And I want to see your inspections on my AC every quarter too. I love that one.
Oh my gosh.
The struggles of that. I liked it. It comforts me to see others paying the same way because it's like I have the same stuff.
The comfort of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, which there is none. But do they have a group a franchisee meeting or gathering each year?
Yeah, so it's called the Summit. So it meets one time a year. They just move the location around depending where you go. Typically a 2.5 day training that you're, just getting anything new. If we have like I was saying, the blue carpet experience, that's, always, that's just keeping it consistent throughout the brand. So they're always going to talk about that and, business and leadership and all the things of like how to read your P&L better and, all those things. So, and then typically we bring the leadership team. So the three of us would go. This year we brought one extra trainer. So we're kind of giving an extra spot that one trainer could go every year, or one employee. So, but yeah, it's a great time to, meet and talk and hang out with the, other owners and other people who are in the same day-to-day grind.
Yeah. And you get ideas from that.
Absolutely.
It's good for that.
Yeah. It's cool all in all to get to, they do like a big gala that you get dressed up. And if you get awards, you get on stage and so it's really neat.
So we talked a little bit about your possibility of a second location.
Yeah.
Fill us in on that.
Yeah. So we have, obviously there's a need in Naples. Everybody loves being fit and they love burn. So we've been trying to open a second one. That one would be co-ed, which is a little bit different. I think now we'd be able to have the husbands come to that one, which would be cool.
Yeah.
And, but we can't find real estate. So we're still kind of stuck at this like just ground spot that we just haven't been able to find a spot that the numbers make sense.
Yeah.
The rent is just too high or there's nothing available. So yeah, it's kind of kept us at a stuck place, but
because you're not going to, it can't be in an industrial park. It's got to be a nice,
even if it were, there's not really in Naples, like we would need to be, east.
Right.
There's just nothing like that
anyway.
there.
Right.
Like I wouldn't mind being off a beaten path a little bit just because we are established now. I think people know what burn is.
Yeah.
But
it's a destination.
But there's just nothing available. Like there's nothing on the market. So
and what is so outrageously priced. It's I don't know how these businesses that go into these places do it, unless they just have a ton of corporate money behind them that just
I don't know.
willing to keep paying.
I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just,
I'm like, because I knew the rent of like, one of the locations that we were looking at, and I'm like, how is that little place going to make it? It's scary.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay, that's crazy. But
how's the tenant turnover been in your center where you're at there?
Tenant turnover?
Yeah.
Now, since we've been in there, we've had pretty consistent, like, a few places have come and gone, but for the most part, they've stayed pretty consistent in terms of who's all in there.
Yeah.
So.
And it's full in there too, right? Yeah.
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 At some point, there's
only so many places to go.
Yeah, right. I know. Oh, this is a big one because we were talking about this too. And the no drama. So I know you've taken a stand on that in a positive way. And I read this book called The No Gossip Zone, and I loved it because it really defined what gossip is and how gossip can just destroy the fabric of anything, an organization, a family, a business, anything like that. Yeah. But it's also one of the most difficult things to manage because it's not like people don't understand what it is, so they have to be They have to know what it is and the damage that's being done with it, and how to manage it. Because you manage women. Like our business, it's a lot of women.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
I mean, I would say this has been probably one of the harder parts of me, because confrontation isn't something that's always come natural. To like go to somebody and be like, hey, we got a problem. But now I think my mindset has switched that like, hey, here's the problem. Let's talk about a solution, and like really going into it from a different angle of not necessarily this is what you did, but like, hey, let's work on this. So I think it takes a more of a positive stance. But I also feel that people now know that like this is not the space for it, and it's not welcome here. And if you're going to cause drama, like they naturally don't feel comfortable, because people are just like, if you're talking bad, they're just kind of like, why are you talking bad about her? You know? Yeah. And it almost like has pushed its way out naturally, and I haven't really had to do too much. Yeah. There's a few conversations I had to have early on, just be like, hey, you're going to say stuff about me. Like, you're not saying something right. Like, this is not accurate information. Yeah. You know? And those people would leave. And it's interesting how that happens, that they just leave on their own. And I don't know, that's probably not the common thing, but I think when I have started being consistent with addressing things and just saying this isn't welcome.
Yeah. It can't live in that space, right? It just can't grow. No. It can't, it's not welcome.
And once you get that one person out, sometimes you don't even know they're the bad seed.
Yeah.
Until they're out and you're like, oh my gosh, we can all breathe.
And you didn't even know, right?
You didn't even realize we were all on eggshells.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah. That's amazing what that's
it's
like.
It's really weird that you don't always know that until they're gone.
And when you do, it's like pulling a thorn out of your foot that you didn't know you had. Like, wow, I can walk again. It feels great.
That was so uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's unique. But it's one of those things that's taken a life of its own in your culture. It seems like it's just become the way it is organically. Yeah. And it's kind of from the inside out.
Well, like I was saying, even hearing that member say that to her friend yesterday, I'm like, wow, like that is so, like, you know, just keep moving.
Yeah.
You know, like I always say, come in wherever you are in your journey. If you haven't done anything in 10 years, like come in, let me help you. Like, let's just start somewhere. Yeah. Because everyone sees, again, the highlights of burn can be very hard. So can CrossFit, right? CrossFit's very hard too. Yeah. But they can scale it. We can scale burn. We can make it work for you. You just have to be willing to start. And, you know, that's always the hard part of getting people in there is always the hardest part. Yeah. Just starting.
But once they're there,
they love it.
Yeah. Yeah. What I've admired is that there definitely is this bond that people have with it that just becomes like a healthy addiction in a good way, like a positive thing. I admire. What about your systems that have you always been a system? Because I know you kind of learn as you go here, making the transition. Yeah. What have you done to create systems, or how have you developed systems that support the business in the way that it does?
So I think systems happen when you're listening to your people, and your people will tell you what they need. So if you're identifying the problems of what your people are going through, the gaps are easily seen, and then you try to find a solution to that and systemize that. So that's where the quarterly, survey comes in. That's what we send that out, obviously, once a quarter to the staff, and then members get a survey once a year. So it's just listening to them and saying, okay, is this garbage? We gave some people an opportunity to talk. And honestly, you're going to hear stuff that's like, meh. Okay. And not that I don't think it's valid, but sometimes, okay, if you're hearing it a lot, then you have a real issue. But if it's a one-off, then that person needs a conversation. And unfortunately, I can't have a conversation with you because it's anonymous. And that's hard. But, so that's for the members. But, with the staff, it's, since it's so much more consistently, it's something that we call it IDS, so identify, discuss, and solve in our quarterly meeting. And we're trying to go through and then make a system or set a goal for the next quarter of like, okay, there's a gap here. Our people are all feeling A, B, C, and we need to help, they're confused, they're lost, whatever it may look like. And trying to figure out how to get that updated. So I think just listening to people.
Yeah. How do you onboard or train your team? What's the process for you?
So this is going to be a Q4 goal for me. No, we have a good system. I think it could be better. Yeah. I mean, the franchise does a good job of getting, giving some basic, guidelines of this is how, you come in the morning, this is what you do to open, but every location is going to be a little bit different, but like training and onboarding them, just figuring out those, like how to do that better. Yeah, it's one of those things I think I need to make myself a little bit more available for those new people coming on and going over like, okay, here's our core values, here's our emergency action plan. If something were to happen, this is exactly how we want every person to do no matter where you're at. So like having all of those processes in line that like everyone's on the same page. And it's like we have all these things, but I don't think we're doing it consistently for every position, every, person. Interviewing, we have a good system, but I think that following that we almost need to have like a 90-day onboarding, and that's something that we're working on.
Well, what's it like to, with your, what do you call them? Trainers, right? So they've developed a style from somewhere else, or they got to be that way some other way. And then they're coming in to create a culture fit for you. What's that transition like? Because they have a way that might not always be your way. And how do you create that bridge? Because they're their own unique artist in a way of how they lead or how they do it.
So in order to get on mic by themselves, they have to pass a certain checklist. So like there's I would say that's definitely a good, the trainers specifically have a little bit more of a unique, like they have to, we want them getting like a 95% on that checklist before they're on their own and they've like essentially graduated to be ready on their own. And I think what that checklist does is it's like, here's your warm up. And it's like, okay, you have X amount of time before the demonstration of all the exercises have to be done. It's just very like, that's that blue carpet experience that we were talking about. So it's just very like, here's your checklist of everything you have to do. And you have time marks and, like you need to hit everybody. Do you know how many people's name in the camp do you know? Like all of those things. So then that way it's processed to be able to do the same thing every time. So, yeah.
So there's a system in place for that.
Yeah, for the onboarding.
You ever have a challenge with people not liking that, or they have their own style or their own way?
Most of our trainers have come from within.
Oh, okay.
So they were members.
They knew it. Okay.
And then they experienced it. They got certified. They did the they took their test.
Yes.
And they paid for that on their own. And then a lot of people will come to us and be like, hey, I have interest in being a trainer. They may do it before they get certified, and we tell them all, like, listen, it just because you're certified does not mean you're hired. Like you have to go through an interviewing process and you have to fit the culture too, because, it's important, right? If we hire the wrong trainer, that could be a big deal for us. So a trainer is so important.
But mostly they're homegrown, so they've come up through the system. They know that, okay,
a lot of them have.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah.
I think everybody has right now on a team. Yeah.
Similar to how we hire right out of school and train within it. Because so they know your values.
They understand it. Yeah. And they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That makes sense then. All right. Well, you're helping me here. This is good. I'm learning a lot.
I love it.
Good. And you're dancing around everything that I wanted to talk about too. So this is great. Great. What is the Mark of Excellence Award?
So Mark of Excellence is a gym that has 600 or more members. They've maintained that membership for an entire year. They get a trip from headquarters. So the HQ team came. We were the first one to get it, and they came down and they just loved on the members. And one of them trained a boot camp. They set up balloon arches and kind of did like a meet and greet. It just was a cool opportunity that they got to like meet the HQ team. They took our staff all out to dinner. So now it's like an award that during our summit, our annual meeting, that the other franchisees can qualify. And if they qualify, they get that same type of a event.
Do they classify the franchisees in groups like that, 600 more, 200 members, or they put you in groups like that? Or
it's more off of tiers. So like tiers are basically what you charge for your membership based on your demographics. So like a tier 1 would be California, right? That'd be like your highest. California, New York City, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then you have your tier 4, which may be Midwest or, so it just depends on the demographic.
Okay.
We're right in the center with the tier 2 or 3.
And the pricing is determined by them or by you?
By them. Yep. So they basically say, this is the demographic. This is what you need to charge for these membership.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you have increase in expenses, if your rent goes up a certain amount, does that matter in that equation at all?
Not really. Yeah, that's kind of, they would take that if I were to go to them and say, hey, I want to increase my rates because my rent has gone up, they would approve it. That would be approved.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So it wouldn't be difficult to get that, but
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curious about that.
Such an interesting, I know, learning all the ins and outs of a franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got its pluses and minuses, but it's also it sounds like a very well run franchise. It's
I
like
think it is. Yeah.
You have,
well, obviously there's been bumps along just getting here today. 10 years. I guess they're 12 years in now. So it's just been cool to watch how much it's progressed as the years have gone. You know, like all the different things that we've helped to say, okay, we need this. We need a checklist for this, So I like having the rules. I like being, because I would be too nice if not. I'd be like, oh, sure, you got a free membership, I like knowing that, no, you can get a compliance notice and you'll get fined. I prefer knowing these are the rules.
Yeah, same as we're women only, and it's in my lease, and I have to do it that way.
That's what I have to do. Yeah, I don't have a choice.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you, as a mom and a wife of a first responder, somebody who I love and appreciate, how do you balance the number of women you have in your life, your family, and life?
I will say this is always something that I struggle with. If I'm at home, I feel guilty I'm not at the gym. If I'm not at the gym, I feel guilty I'm at home. And it's because I want to be everywhere at once. And I think, my ultimate goal is always just to try to figure out how to stay present. And no matter where I'm at, and if I'm not feeling it, if I'm at the gym and I know that someone might be looking at me going, oh, she's having a bad day, I'm leaving because I don't want someone thinking, it just maybe I've been looking at a financial thing all day or, whatever, just trying to figure something out with the lease. And it's just I've been looking at a legal thing all day and I don't really understand it. So I'm frustrated with that. I don't want anybody to think it's ever them. Right. So I'm typically going to try to leave that area. But I think in terms of balance, it's always going to be hard for me. It's just something I know that I will struggle with, but I'm really trying to create time that I have connection with, my son, connection with my husband. So, because those are the two most important relationships in my life. And I think that's when I look at the nighttime of I'm not there at the nights. And I did feel very guilty about that for a long time. And I've now kind of gotten away from it a little bit, but you know what? I've already worked an 8-hour day. I got up at 4:30. I was there at 5 or 5:15. I have to give myself some grace in this area. It's not that I didn't work today. I just worked early so I could be with my family at night. And this is the blessing of owning a business, is training the people, to your point, to do what I would do when I'm not there. Yeah. So that way it should be consistent, Yeah. But that doesn't mean I don't want to not be there. I always want to be in two places,
Yeah.
So.
Well, that thing you brought up about your Q4 goal, if you want to work on your onboarding process, what do you do? Because there's always going to be something. There is always something there like that's burning inside you. Gosh, I got to make that better. Gosh, I don't like the way that is. How do you manage the mental side of that? Because when you end your day and you go, I wanted to work on Q4 a little bit and I didn't get to that. And then you added 3 more things onto that list that popped up during the day. And the end of the day is there and it's time to be present with your family. Yeah. What do you do?
So, I'm really big on to-do lists. If I write a to-do list and even if it's did something extra, I write it on the list, even if I've already done it, to check it off. Yeah. Because now I feel like I've accomplished more. Yeah. So even if these top 3 things didn't get done, those were my priority for the day. But then I had to figure out ants at the front desk and, the washer machine needed something. And all of a sudden I'm now working on a toilet. I'm like, what is going on? I put those things on my list and check it off so I still feel accomplished. Because for some reason, I don't feel accomplished unless I'm checking something off of the list.
Yeah. There's some science to that too. That actually,
really,
yeah. I've read that before. That it's actually there's a euphoric there's something it does to your psyche that it does give you that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, it helps me feel like, okay, you didn't fail.
Yeah.
You still got something done today. Even wasn't on your list, but that's just what I had in the cards for the day.
Yeah.
So I think then when I go home, I don't feel as like I'm behind to not be present.
Okay.
So I think that's something that
you
helps.
actually write it down, check it off.
And
that's a great practice. I'm learning from you from that. I like that.
Yeah,
that's
I literally will be like, okay, I'm just writing it because it's on my to-do list. And hey, you still did something yesterday.
Right, and even though it wasn't in your plan for the day, you did it, and it's something that you're going to put on there. Yeah, I get that.
That helps me for some reason. Yeah, we use like a system. It's called Basecamp, and it helps to organize all of these things. So like if I have a personal to-do list on there and it has a business to-do list and it has all the things of like priorities, and just kind of, so when I check it off, I can look in the done folder and see everything that was done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's always going to be, like I said, it's a constant struggle, but I think that does help me. So when I get home, I feel like I have accomplished something. I haven't just blew the day away.
Yeah. How do you get your workout in?
I work out at the first camp every day.
Oh, good. Okay.
So if I get there at 8:30, I work out at 8:30. If I get there at 5:30, I work out at 5:30. So you rarely will see me in the afternoon. I'm just not that person. I don't have the energy at that time.
Yeah.
I'm just like done. And I've watched it too many times, right? If you've watched a boot camp like 5 times, the last thing I'm like, oh, I hate that person. That looks hard. So I just have to do it first time.
What time do you go to bed?
It depends. I mean, usually 10, 9:30, 10.
And how much sleep do you get?
Depends, but because my schedule's every third day. So every third day I'm up early because he's up. Yep. So when Justin gets off shift, I can't go in early that day. So I'd have to wait for the third day his second day he's off. If that makes sense. So yeah, I think my sleep definitely varies. I mean, it can be 6, it can be 8.5, 9.
Yeah. It's just something I'm more aware of lately, how important that is. And I'm just curious as to
yeah, it's so important.
But you, because you juggle a lot and how you get it in. But when you're away from it all, or when you're doing family time, hunting and fishing, is that your thing too, or is that the boys' thing? The
fishing's more mine. The hunting is his. Yeah,
fishing is yours.
Yeah, I'd rather be offshore. Give me a mahi. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
I just want to be on the boat though. It's just the sunshine, salt water. So anything around
Florida
that.
girl.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm happy if I'm on the boat.
Mahi fishing. So is that where you catch one and you leave it in the water? Dolphin, mahi?
Yeah, mahi, yep.
You leave it in the water so they stay there and you keep
This year we did a little bit more trolling, but last year we kept the one. Yeah, once they all come to the boat, Yeah, and
you just keep reeling them
fun.
in. Yeah.
It's just like there's blood all over the boat. Everything's chaos. It's great. I love it.
What has Maverick taught you about leadership that you use in business?
Patience. I mean, he is all energy, all boy. He's an only child, so it's just he wants he wants you to play with him all the time. He wants you to do Uno, whatever it is. Like it's just always doing something with him all the time. But I'd say he challenges me. I mean, he's very much like my husband. Like he is just determined, black and white. Why? I don't understand. It's not 7:20. I'm like, it's 7:30. He's like, it's 7:27, Mom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why are you so exact? But I would just say patience. I think that, being a boy mom was my dream. So, I mean, I know that doesn't exactly connect, but just the patience in general with him and just learning that people, they need to be heard. That's most of the time. Someone just give them the opportunity to be heard if they're frustrated with something. Yeah. And I think that's, probably correlates back and forth between the two of them.
Is there a book or a movie that's impacted your life in some way?
A lot of books, just because we do read a lot of leadership books. I mean, Traction by Gino, no, I'm not remembering his name. I mean, that's a lot of where our processes have come from, like the level 10 meeting, which is our Monday meeting that we do, quarterly meetings. Like that's a lot of where those processes have come from, is that book.
Okay. Traction?
Traction.
Could you Could you write that down? Traction,
Yeah.
because I'll have to rewatch, but
Yeah.
I just want to have it down.
And I'm happy to
list.
walk you through it. It's really cool. Impact my life. I don't know. I mean, I recently listened to Let Them by,
I just started that.
yeah, I do love that. Let them talk about you, whatever. Let them be them. I don't know. I love that concept that you can't change other people's thoughts on you. You can't change their mindset. Their mindset's their mindset because that's what they believe in their head. It's nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love Mel Robbins. I think she's great. But, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard somebody else had mentioned that to me a couple podcasts ago, and I just started listening, and I
it's a
really
good one.
enjoyed it. Yeah, it was some freedom in listening to that. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can
get
just
it.
let them. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other podcasts or books are you up to these days, or that you?
So I listen to a lot of the Burn podcast because, it just kind of keeps me on top of like what industry and stuff like that.
Now, what is that?
Burn Bootcamp podcast. I mean, Devin Klein, visionary. He'll talk about anything from like, creatine to working out in the gym to, trends or fads or whatever may be going on.
Okay.
And Morgan will get on there as well, the CEO. So I like that one a lot. I listen to a lot of things. Like I'll kind of go on like the top 10 list and be like in top 10 in business and just kind of pick one. So it's not always a consistent, but I do listen to a lot of audiobooks or podcasts just on business. Like if I'm driving, I'm gonna try to listen to something because I just feel like it's, I don't want to say a waste of time, but I just feel like it's more valuable if I can do something, different parenting books on how I can help my very stubborn son and just how to be a better mom. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of everything.
Do you use AI for anything?
Yes, I love ChatGPT. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about it? What do you like?
I like if I have, let's say I'm typing something up for the staff and I just don't know that it's exactly clear. Like I think it's clear, but maybe it's not.
Yeah.
I can put it in there and just say like, show me my gaps or show me opportunities of questions that may be asked within this communication. So different things like that. Necessarily, I mean, sometimes rewording it, but more than anything, just making it, just making things clear and concise. I think that there's just it's just so quick, just to be able to put things in there. And it's, as it goes, it learns your business as well, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
your tone and all the things. So
yeah. How else have you used it for business?
I'm trying to think.
I discover something new every day. That's why I like to ask, because it's fascinating to me.
So one thing that I did was in ChatGPT, I think this is a podcast or something I listened to that helped me understand this, but you can go into it, save to my memory, blah, 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 right? So save to my memory, here's my bio, save it to my memory. Save, we call them camps, not classes. Save, the different things of maybe so if an email, or if I'm like asking it to draft something, it's going to have that same lingo that I would be saying. So you can say, save this to my memory, and then it will reference that.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome about it. Yeah.
It's wild.
It is. Yeah, it's
pretty cool. It's a big time saver if you use it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took just recently some of my father, who's the founder of the company, and he made haircutting videos in the 90s, and I was able to take the transcripts from those and put them in and have AI summarize the key points as the founder and create
like a manual.
Like an ROP GPT, which could, Rising Star Associates and the stylists can learn from.
That is so cool.
It's wild. Yeah, it's wild because it even puts like honoring the legacy of Robert Sr. This is his synergy haircut, which he created with 40-degree angles, and it takes all of his words, the way he said them, and that's phenomenal. It blew me away. Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's
almost scary.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I love it. It was like bringing a piece of him back to life in a new way. It was kind of cool. I love that.
That's awesome.
What's your music playing either on the boat or when you're in the zone somewhere?
So I will always have music on. That is my thing. I love music, but typically country.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm working, I'm going to listen to a meditation music. So I just like put, Alexa, put Pandora, meditation on. So just something that's like in the background. But I've been into like the 90s, like, back to like throwback 90s and like that like kind of old station lately. So, yeah, but usually country.
Okay.
Yeah, but I always have something on.
Music is
yeah.
If your life was a movie, what would the opening soundtrack be?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. And I feel like it maybe would be appropriate to say like the Top Gun Maverick movie. Just I feel like that kind of goes with like our family. That's not why we named Maverick. Justin loved the name Maverick. I did not. I was like, there's no way we're naming our kid Maverick. This is right when that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. And I had an emergency C-section, and long story short, Justin's like, we can't leave like this room without knowing his name.
Oh, wow.
And we had like 3 or 4 names, and I'm like, whatever, just have your Maverick. I'm like, so you just waited for the weakest moment of my life to name our kid. Awesome. But honestly, I couldn't imagine it any different. Like he is such a Maverick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very fitting.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes. Very much so.
What's your coffee order?
Typically, it's venti, iced coffee, almond milk, 2 Splenda. Yeah.
Starbucks?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, venti, you said.
Yeah.
So it has got to be Starbucks. Right? Okay. If you weren't a fitness franchise owner, what do you think you'd be doing today?
So if things were to, something were to go bad and burn, and that would not work, I would own some type of an organizational company. I don't know exactly what it would be, but I always joke around and say that. Like, I'm always into like, people are always looking for that. Like, come, throw everything away for me and organize it. Like, I go to my sister's house and organize her house. I'm like, what's in your drawer?
Yeah.
She's like, really? I'm like, I don't know. I just like it. It makes me happy to see it, the before and after.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that would be, I'd probably get sick of it really quickly, but.
Yeah, but you like to do it. And
I like
when your
it.
husband was out of town, you went through the garage. And
I took all of his tools and laid them out on the carpet. I'm like, oh my gosh, I sent my sister a text. You think he'll be mad? She's like, he'll be fine. He doesn't really care about his tools that much. It's funny.
What's your go-to comfort food indulgence?
Oh, like cookies, cookie dough, peanut butter cups. Yeah, I'm sweet. That would be my jam.
Yeah. What is it? Crave cookies? Is that the cookies?
Those are so good, yeah.
Yeah. You have some of those?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Good. I'm glad you eat those. So.
I don't often.
But you indulge
I
every
have
now
had
and
them,
then?
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, good. What's your diet like?
It depends on where, I don't say where I'm at, but like I don't want to say if I care. I would just say it's consistent. I'm very, I still will eat. I'll still eat a pizza. I'll still eat burgers. I mean, I still eat all the things. It's just balance. Like, I really believe in an 80-20 rule. I believe that, you got to have a lot of fruits and vegetables, but like, it's okay to also have cookie dough if you want to. Like, you just may not be able to have the bread. It's just like, you just got to have balance. But I just believe that like, it's not an all or nothing, I just think that just is a disaster for people, because then they get into this habit of, then they cut everything out and they add the carbs back in, then they never fully change.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's something about you most people don't know but should?
Maybe that I eat cookie dough. I don't know. Maybe they should know that. It's normal. I don't know.
I love that. What do you hope your legacy will be in the Naples community?
I hope that people know that I always try to make a difference and always did what was right when no one was watching, even if that was hard. Sometimes I think, not that it's always hard, it's just, I think that I don't know how to say this the right way. It's just the decisions are made a lot of times, and we don't always, the full thing's not seen, like, you're not able to see the full everything piece and puzzle that was made to get to that decision. But like, I always do what I believe is right for the people and, for my family. And sometimes decisions are hard to make, but like, I hope that people always know that, like, at my heart, I did it in the right intentions,
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
I feel like
about
it's
you.
just hard as a business owner. We get judged for stuff. You're like, but you don't know what it all went into that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. The fight that went behind it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how you started too. You started with the biggest of all.
Yeah.
Tell us about the fitness challenge starting on September 8th.
All right, so we have a fitness challenge starting on September 8th. It's only $79. It's 28 days, and it's called the Strength and Conditioning Challenge. So it's a series of movements and exercises over those 4 weeks. And there's, some big trackers on the wall that to track of, how much weight you're doing or how many reps you did just to kind of bring you through. But it's an ultimate reset challenge. It's just a nice challenge if you're like off track. Just, it's really for the members and, new people coming in, but it's a great deal for only $79.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they find that online?
Online, yeah. Brandbootcamp.com, and then they'll select Naples, Florida.
Okay.
Yep, select the location.
Right. We'll get that out in time. So how can people who have always thought about working out, it's a dream of theirs, they want to, but they're intimidated by making that first step.
Yeah.
What would you say for those people?
So if you sign up online with the trial, we always offer a trial at all times. But if you sign up, we're going to give you a call. And I mean, my suggestion is just come by. We're from 12 to 3. There's typically someone in there just if you wanted to see the gym. Sometimes it just makes that difference just to stop by and just get that first step over, but just to start. I mean, I feel like so many people are so afraid of starting. And then once they do, they're like, man, I looked at your social media for months, just seeing if I could do it. And they're like, I wish I would have just come in. I wish I would have started because now I've wasted all that time. And I was so afraid, and everyone's so nice and warm and welcoming that like I missed out on that time and I should have just come in, So yeah, I mean, starting is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Walking through the doors is the hardest part. And then after that, we got you.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out together.
I love that.
Yep.
We got you. When you put people first, you will always win. Mm-hmm. That's your quote.
Yes.
How has it shaped everything you do?
It makes it's how I make every decision. Because I feel like I'll ask the staff, was that a people first decision? And so they know if they don't need to question my no if they know my yes, right? So like I feel like a lot of times if there's a decision about a member and I'm like, well, how do we make sure that this is, yes, we're holding protocol, but we also have to put that member first. Like, was this the best decision that we could have done to give them the best result? And I live by that. I just think that like, that's how we just live a great life because you did your best for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just always lifting others. That's kind of your premise. I love that. Yeah. It's obvious to me. Very cool. I have a couple of random.
I'm not good at random. You can tell, right?
Right. I know. You're the only person that's ever asked, what other questions will there be about the questions? Or I think you were. That's awesome.
I'm the organized one when.
That was awesome.
What other questions are going to be? That's definitely me.
But it was great. I love that you gave me, there was a lot you wrote down and what Zach had sent out too. So I had somewhere to start. But I already knew that about you anyway from the people who talk about you.
Am I reading this? What am I doing?
You're going to read it out loud and then
what is the hottest accent to have? I mean, I don't know. English?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know that was in there. That's an interesting question, especially to a married person, I guess. Anyway. All right, here's another
These
one.
are awesome. Oh gosh, now I'm afraid. What was your worst haircut or hairstyle you have ever had? So right before I got married, it wasn't my worst haircut. It just was my worst decision that I had long hair, and my hairdresser was like, "You're not cutting your hair," and I was like, "But I really want to," and she's like, I'm giving you advice. Don't do it. And I was like, I really want to. I just think it needs to be cut. It just felt dead and whatever. So I cut it, and then I got engaged like right after that and had to get extensions for my wedding because I just wanted to have long, hair.
Right.
So I cut off all my hair and then had to pay to get extensions. Awesome. Like, yeah. So that, I don't know if it's a worse haircut. It was a worse decision.
Yeah, right. All right, last one.
Okay. Oh, on a first date, who should pay the bill? Should it be split? I guess the guy should pay on the first date.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think from there, I mean, Justin and I went back and forth after, we were dating for a while.
Yeah. Well, what was tell the story again because I love it.
Of Justin and I?
Yeah.
So we dated in middle school.
Yeah.
We didn't talk for 10 years. And then we got reunited at Key Island. My parents, it was their anniversary and it happened to be Justin's birthday. And so we saw each other.
Key where all the boats are lined up having a good time.
At the beach, yep. And you want to tell the text part?
Yeah, that's the best.
So I gave him my number and I was like, he's like, oh yeah, text me later, whatever. Again, it's his birthday. So he's partying and having fun. So I texted him. I was like, nice to see you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I said. And he never responded. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. You give a girl your number and then you don't respond. And he told his best friend, he's like, yeah, I'm going to marry this chick.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love that. So at the time I was living in Orlando. Within 4 months I moved back. 8 months we were engaged. And a year and a half we were married. It was just, I mean, when you know. It just was, It was really cool.
Well, that's a great story.
Still love my life. Pain in the ass, but he's great.
Do send him my love and appreciation and thanks for what he's done for us, for his service.
I really appreciate that.
Selfless service to you and, all of us.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
And you were a part of that too, because you have to handle that third day or that cycle of his life he's gone for.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that.
Maverick.
It's worth it. I mean, knowing that he's helping other people is great.
Yeah, he's just given his life to that. So
yeah, for
pretty
sure.
Awesome. We're lucky.
20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question, I promise. What do you love about your life?
I love everything about my life. I mean, I think that any person can look and see that there's negatives in any situation. But I mean, today I feel so blessed to be where I'm at today. I really do. I have an amazing, healthy son, a husband who's supportive and who adores me. I mean, that's the dream right there, right? I have a business that is amazing and is thriving, and a staff that they feel like family. When I'm not there and I'm on vacation, I'm like, I miss them. I mean, I think that is the dream.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So cool.
It's really cool.
I love this.
Of course, there's negatives, but yes, there's to me, those are.
Well, that's one of the things I think is great, and the people that I get to talk to, there's a commonness to successful people, maybe just successful in life and successful in other ways. It's like this, sometimes a serial optimist inside that's finding the glass half full and whatever the thing is, and there's pull out the goodness in all situations.
I mean, don't look at it half empty. What is in that? There's nothing in it for you, nothing in it for me. Like, I don't want to make this world like that. Like, let's make it the best we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our community is blessed to have you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, I was really looking forward to it. And I think you especially are exactly what we mean when we talk about good people who deserve the spotlight.
Thank you.
You've taken your love for your hometown and turned it into a movement that transforms lives every single day. From the UCF golf course to employing over 20 women, from personal trainer to franchise partner of the year, you've shown us that true success isn't measured in awards, though you have plenty. It's measured in the number of women who walk taller because they walk through your doors. Your response during Hurricane Ian revealed the heart of who you are, someone who opens her doors when the community needs shelter. You've proven that you can build an incredibly successful business while maintaining genuine care for every single person. You absolutely deserve this spotlight as one of our good people, and I have no doubt that your second location will be just the beginning of the incredible impact you'll continue to make.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's been an honor. It's been great.
Pleasure, yeah.
I really appreciate it.